never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. I got my man back in town. What's up, Fleece?
Man, I'm back, baby. Vegas.
You had a good time in
Man,
Vegas?
I had a good time in Vegas, man.
I'm not going to ask you no questions because they say what happens in Vegas
Stays in Vegas.
stays in Vegas. So I ain't going to ask no questions about that. I want to ask you, how's your mental?
Man, it's pretty good.
Your mental's pretty good?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
Best I know, last I checked.
Man, I don't think we asked each other as men enough how we're doing mentally. If we're feeling okay. Instead of just, first thing we say, yeah, I'm cool, all right.
Yeah.
But it may be something going on.
Mentally.
Yeah, but we'll still say because we're born to be strong and tough, we don't really tap into our emotions. So hopefully you're doing okay like you said you are, and there's nothing to talk about there. But I want everybody to know, find somebody to talk to before. I had a friend that put a bullet in his head that was 50 years old. I grew up with him recently. His funeral was actually on my birthday yesterday. So, yeah, man, just stay strong. Talk to your friend, talk to your family, get some professional help if you need it. And, man, don't hurt nobody and definitely don't hurt yourself. What you think about that? Because when you was in prison, it's a lot of mental stuff you had to deal with. Did nobody ask you how you was doing?
No.
So you kept it bogged up.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure some of you releasing it was some frustration and stuff you was feeling on the inside.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to trust people, when you're going through something, man. You want to confide in somebody, but you don't want to confide in somebody you think take it lightly, make a joke about it, and stuff like that. So you keep it balled up until you find that trust in somebody. But what my agent is telling y'all, find that somebody, release it through talking about it. Don't have that energy and frustration in you, man, and it'll pop out, man. And it got me like that a lot. I was compulsive. I get angry, man, and won't talk to nobody, man, and just wild out, man. Cost me a lot of time in prison. I could have got out of prison in 13 months when I first got locked up.
Wow.
I ended up doing 40 flat because I could not contain that frustration and anger that I let build in me because I ain't have nobody to talk to me. I wasn't getting visits or nothing, nobody writing me. I'm a child in an adult prison.
You felt like nobody cared?
Yeah, nobody cared, man. So I'm going to take my anger out on whoever come at me wrong. I'm going to take my anger out on them. And that's what I did. And it cost me 40 years, man.
We did a question and answer thing. We had people email me Hustler Spirit email address. Hustler Spirit 502@gmail.com. I believe. I got so many emails. I think it's what we used. They emailed some questions. They actually emailed some good questions again. I appreciate the questions. I will put the email address in the comment section. It's at the top of our front page too, in the bio, the description. Man, it's some pretty good questions I'm gonna ask you. You said you're gonna answer.
Yeah, I answer truthfully.
Truthfully, every question.
Every question, man. My fans know that's what I'm about, man. I ain't afraid of what.
All right, I'm gonna get these out of the way early. Why you fresh? All right, we'll start with this one. It's a little warm up. Did you ever feel like you sabotaged your own success when you first went to prison?
Yeah, I know I did. I did it intentionally. You know, it started when I was a child, man. My daddy used to put his hands on me and just out of frustration to get back at him, I ain't gonna do nothing he say. Like he said, when you go to school, you better bring home all A's. I would intentionally bring home all F's. I never made an A, never made a B, never made a C, all F's, just to get at him. So when I went to prison illiterate. But in prison, out of frustration, to get back at my family, I went and got my education and learned to read and write and learned a lot.
So when you lashing out with this frustration, trying to go against your parents or the guards or whatever, what part of you not understanding that you're hurting yourself more than you hurting them?
At that point, you don't care about hurting yourself. Your focus is on hurting the people that you're doing all this over. Your whole focus is on that. It ain't on consequences, how it's gonna affect you or hurt you. Just long as you can deliver that blow to them. And that's what I was doing.
And that was enough. You didn't care about you at that point.
No.
Or it wasn't a thought.
No, I didn't. I didn't care about nothing but what I was doing. And the reason I was doing it for.
So in prison, what thoughts kept you up at night? The night you couldn't go to sleep?
The fact that my family wasn't writing me or coming to see me, that kept me up, man, because it hurt me. It hurt me, and it's like, man, I'm just close my eyes and I say I'm gonna prove something to them. I'm gonna learn all I can learn, and when I get out, I'm gonna make a lot of money. I ain't giving them shit. That was my motivation. They gonna see me. Everybody that turned their back on me, left me for dead in the penitentiary, I'm gonna make sure I survive this, and they see me again, and I'm gonna be doing better than them. And that was my motivation.
And
whatever the cost, I'm gonna survive.
So on your way to collecting all this extra time, did you not think they was gonna pass away while you was collecting all this time?
Well, when I started picking up time, I got to the frame of mind where I said, well, I gotta demonstrate something to these people first. To everybody in here that lives here and works here, I'm not the one. First of all, you can't scare me. I don't care about picking up your time. You talk about putting me in the hole. I don't care about going to the hole. So I'm going to prove that to you. I did 12 years flat in the hole, in isolation. 12 straight years. Nobody ever did it. 40 years in prison, from 14 all the way up. You know, I was in jail 14, 15, then I turned 16 in prison. So, and I did that 40 years. So, my thing is this. I'm going to prove to you, I don't care. You step to me, I'm going to take you to lunch and make you eat that. Yeah, all of it, the whole meal. I'm going to take your ass to lunch, buddy. And when they tried me, that's what I did. And the place I was in was racist. All the black people was afraid of the white people. And the white people in there was doing stuff so bad to blacks and to, you know, I broke all that up. I would fight y'all to the death. And when they realized who they was up against, somebody, I said, you know, I don't mind picking up time. I don't want out no more. I got to that point where I told my mama before she died, I ain't coming home. I was able to get a phone call through and reached her and told her, I ain't making it out of her. I'm fine. And so I devoted my time. When I say this is my home now, let's get my house right. That's when I started messing with drugs and whiskey and all that, poker games, and started running businesses.
Start getting comfortable.
Yeah. And then they threw me out. See, that pissed me off.
Because you didn't want to leave.
I ain't want to leave. I'm set up, man. I got everything I want, man. I got cable channels, all the cable channels. I got PlayStations. I got sex videos. I got weed. I got whiskey. I got
a boyfriend.
I got all that, boyfriends, girlfriends, all this shit. I got whatever I want. I can make this my home. You know, and I did. And then they gonna come tell me.
It seemed like you still a little upset they put you out.
When I came out here, you know, after you get settled in prison, you get your respect. Everybody knows this and that. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you.
You know, it's called institutionalized, though.
You call it whatever. You get your respect from people. But when I stepped up out of prison and seen what y'all got out here going on, the place that everybody say, man, get out so you can go home, man, and it's love. I've seen more crazy stuff out here from people than I've seen in prison. And I'm talking about, man, it's like this in society out here, this crazy, man. And, but it's still better than prison. And, not much better, but better. Depends on you and your situation. You can make yourself better out here, right? You can avoid people. You can avoid a lot of conflicts and all this stuff, right? And so and you can find peace out here, you know, a little. But it is better than prison. But that's what happened.
All right. How does a man fall in love with another man?
Same way you fall in love with a woman. You know.
What's the mindset? This person right here wants to know the mindset. What was you thinking? Did you ever say, man, what the hell's going on? I'm actually falling in love with a man.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't think shit. Because first of all, I went to prison as a child. Y'all keep forgetting it. Y'all keep looking at me like I was an adult in an adult prison. I'm a child that ain't never kissed a girl yet. And you gonna ask me about that? I ain't never even kissed a girl, man. When I went to prison, I was a baby. Remember that.
So it was normal to you.
So it was normal. I don't even know. It was normal to me. If people say this is the way you do it, I'm like, oh, is it? Because I didn't know. And so, but I can tell you what I thought. Man, the first time I looked at him, the first one I ever got up in. And we was in the shower, and we was in there by ourselves, man. I turned around and seen him with that arch in his back and had big old bubble butt on him. And he looked by, I seen that soap go down his back, go through his crack. I went straight up, man. It was like, is that what you talking about? Yeah. Nigga, I went over and got up in it.
Was that the same one you married?
Yeah, that's the one that, no, that was a different one that I married, the one that said he was pregnant. And, hold on, man, my mind is, I done had so many, man. I like, well, anyway, that's how it was.
Man, it wasn't the one you married.
That one I married, man, he drove me nuts.
You was in love with him?
Yeah, I was in love with him. He put something on his shirt, made me think he was pregnant.
Right.
I had to go through therapy, man. They said he is not pregnant. And they revealed all that to me, man. It was, I growed up through that, man. My mind ain't developed yet. Remember, a child in his, I thank God I made it, man.
Yeah, me too. You talked about the man that used to fight you. He was the son of another man that was in there. Were you the woman in that relationship?
Yeah.
What was the guy, the father's name?
I ain't going
to The father.
That. I'm not revealing names.
You already did in the video.
They have to go back and find all that.
So
I don't like talking about this subject. You know.
Well, you said you answered a question. This person.
I answered. I ain't going into details.
Were you the woman in a relationship?
I'm gonna answer. Yeah, I said yeah.
So was that considered domestic violence?
There ain't no such thing as domestic violence in no penitentiary, man. You just fight. You know, everything is considered either fight or not a fight. You know, they don't categorize it into domestic violence or this and that. It ain't categorized. If you fight, you just list it as fighting. Anybody. A fight's a fight.
So, this person right here asks, if you ever went back to prison, would you give up booty support to anybody?
Hell no. I get it.
Okay.
But if I went back, I wouldn't. No, I'm gonna be truthful with you. If I went back, I wouldn't even indulge, right? And I just, if I was back in prison, my only thing would be to get my stores and stuff up running and start trying to get my connection back with weed and whiskey and all that cigarettes. That'd be it, man.
So you would think, and this is me going off of people that's in there now, because they say prison's a young man's game now.
No, it ain't.
So you think at your age, you'll be able to go back in there with those young people and run it?
Yeah, because they ignorant. If I went back to the prison I came from, soon I step in that prison. Even all the people still in there, they was in there, they had that time when they ain't getting out, they still in there. They know me. I left businesses. I left all my stuff to the inmates in there when I got out. No, we don't take all that stuff home. We leave it to people, man. You got time to do, man. You know. And if I ever went back, soon I stepped through there, even if they ain't in there, just the guards that is in there. See, them is the ones that was bringing me my shit, right? The guards, right? All I gotta do is step through the door, man, and re-up, man. But I'm pretty sure the prison system, cause I'm gonna tell you, the Department of Correction in my state, they sharp, man. As far as up here, they sharp, and every mistake they make, they have meetings and sit down and figure out how to correct them mistakes and not see that stuff happening again. So if Fleece Johnson ever walked through here again,
they would handle you differently.
Yeah, it'll be a whole different ball game, right? And I would see that myself, right? But when I first got out of prison, see, people don't know this. I did 40 years, right? I had 7.5 years still left on parole. I said, I can't do this. I can go back to prison, get in a program that knocks for 6 months and knock a year off your sentence. I can't do 7.5 years of parole on the streets. I called 911, bro. This is how horrible I am. Take me back. Made them send me back. I did 1 year, went through all them programs. I went through 5 programs, man. I knocked all that time down to where now they can release me off of parole.
Time served.
Time served. Now, how many people, that strong, man, they can do 12 years in isolation, get out after doing 40 years, then don't want to be on parole, say, take me back, dude. You come back out, you ain't on no parole.
Yeah, is that hard or crazy?
You can call it what it's called smart.
To go back in prison?
Yeah, to get off of 7.5 years of parole. Yes,
I know, a place where you don't know if you coming back out?
I knew I was coming back out. Cause you know how I knew?
How?
Cause they threw me out.
I'm talking about when you went back for the year.
Then when I went back for the year, the prisons that I've been in wouldn't even accept me. All of them states said, no, we ain't taking them back. They had one prison in Kentucky called Real Sandy Hook. I never been in there. They snuck me in there. And when they saw who I was, they came to me, the warden and his senior captain. They said, what's your business, sir? I told them. They said, we heard your word is good. Give us your word that you ain't gonna cause no trouble, do this and that. and we'll put you in as many programs as you want to get in to get you up out of here. And I didn't get in no trouble, didn't disrespect, didn't do nothing wrong, I illegal. And I came out because that was my whole focus of being here. See, at the time I did this, I had a job making $26 an hour. I was a machine operator, Royal Consumer Products, you know, and I supervised that whole production area. I can hire you and fire you. See, the Department of Correction, who hated me that I fought, when they found out, they moved me from the halfway house to one in another place, another county, and so they could take my job. And then when I got to that county, I talked my way up to another machine operating job for $32 an hour. And people told me that at halfway house, I can't work that job because I got to be in they little meetings and all that. I said, you know what? I know I'm going to prison because I ain't going to stand for this shit. Now, I got a choice. I can go for a crime. I can go to get off of parole. And I made that decision, and it worked. I'm that strong, bro.
What's the most important bunk, top or bottom? Why is the bunk so important?
Well, it is important. It depends on who you are. Either bunk. Like if I'm on the bottom bunk, you know, it's cool. But if somebody I'm cool with come in my cell and he's, you know, real big dude, then he got to step his feet up on my bed and lift himself up to get on the top bed. I'm saying, big bro, take this one, because I'm, you know, I'm agile, you know, I can jump from here to there like it ain't shit, right? But I'd rather be on the top bunk, for real, because the bottom bunk, if he farts on the top bunk, it comes like it comes through the mattress down on you, right? You locked in that cell with a bed bunkie, and if he pass gas and all that stuff, it gonna come down on you. You on the top bunk, you know what I'm saying? You know, you gonna get all that, right? But it just either one of me, man, I learned in prison to be able to withstand whatever they dish out, right? I took pride in that. I wouldn't care if they put me on. Well, most of the time I was naked, changed up to a bed, mace, gas, and, you know, I'm fighting. You know, have me in strip cells most of my time, right? I bet you every female that worked in prison could tell you how big I am down in the front. Because they all come by and see me. I'm naked all the time, man, fighting them. They say, take all this stuff. So what? And when them ladies come through, they stand right there and talk to you. And you be, hey, boy, I'll tell you. It's crazy.
So, when you in a cell, when they was double bunks, you in a cell, and they put you a new bunkie in there, and you've been sleeping on the bottom bunk. What if he orders you out of the bottom onto the top?
He ain't gonna order me to do shit. He come in my cell.
I mean, he's huge.
I don't care if
he's
like,
6'6", 357 pounds.
I listen to his shit. Now, if he's that big, I'm gonna listen. Yeah, I'm gonna give you all your attention. What'd you say, sir? Well, I'm telling you, I want that goddamn bottom bunk. I said, well, big as you are, you can get it. And I'm gonna send him up out of land. They gonna take him out on the stretcher. See, I already know it's gonna be a fight. It's somebody that's gonna be disrespectful just by how he came to me, right? Now, if I stand up trying to fight him fist to fist, he probably slaughtered me, right? But the way I'm gonna fight him, gonna get him up out of here, right?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna split him open. I'm gonna split his head.
You gonna wait till you go sleep?
Sleep, I lay down. Well, I ain't gonna wait till he goes to sleep. I'll make sure that door ain't locked, right? Because he's a big motherfucker, right? You know, some of them, you can pop them in the head 5 or 6 times, they'll still come at you and choke you up out of there, right? So I want to get him out of my cell to a spot Well, I got some of my dudes around too. I'm gonna make sure I win this, right? I don't ask no for help, but I'm not gonna lose a fight, right? And when I catch him sat down, I'm gonna say y'all watching and watching out for the goals and all this stuff.
And watching out in case you need some help.
Yeah. He's coming up out of my cell, bro. You ain't gonna come in my cell demanding nothing.
Have you ever had anybody do it?
No. People know, man, when they come in there, they'll speak to you. How you doing? I said, how you doing? I'm all right, man. My name is so-and-so. All right, my name is this. I said, before we get started, I live here and you live here, right? As you can see, I keep it clean. That's how I want it to stay clean. I don't piss on the toilet. I don't leave stuff in the toilet. I flush this and that. You know, so respect our
So what if you say, nigga, keep cleaning? Even if I mess up, nigga, keep cleaning.
I'm gonna smile and say, you right, dog. I'm gonna take him out. You know, I'm gonna say, you right, man. That's the whole thing I can't do, right? And turn straight. I gotta get this nigga, right? I ain't with all that smart shit. You know, coming up talking all that shit in myself and think I'm gonna lay down. I know these people that is in prison. Like me, I'm in prison just doing little silly stuff. I'm not no real killer like that, right? I know I'm surrounded by these
You not no real what?
killer.
Really?
Unless you make me. Well, I just saying I'm not going to tolerate nobody. You know, I show people respect, man. And I usually, I'm able to talk to anybody. I don't care if you're a Ku Klux Klan member. I talked to a lot of them and I sat down with them at their table and ate and knew they was Klan, skinheads and stuff. I called them brothers. So did. How my Klan brothers doing today?
Now, they knew you was crazy.
Yeah, they better know it.
So what are some of the differences in behavior between inmates that have release dates and the inmates serving life? How do they act different?
Ain't no difference because we know one thing in prison. Who gives a damn that you ain't never getting out? You know, and people can say, oh, he don't care. Oh, yeah, he does. He cares about living. Now, you might not care about getting out, but you care about staying alive. So as long as we know everybody got that in them, yeah, we ain't afraid to step to you on anything, bro. Correct you or anything. If you don't care, we don't care. So it don't even phase us. It ain't no difference to me, right? They all the same. You know, you got people, like, here's what made me mad one day. The whole America heard about protected custody. Inmates going into protected custody, they pussies, ain't nothing in protected custody but rats and baby rapers. Not true. Protected custody is mostly filled of people that came off the yard, people that just didn't want to go to the yard, right? And you might have one or two police officers up there that used to be cops on the streets. Somebody they say got a couple of sex charges. You got more on the yard with sex charges than you got in PC. You got more rats on the yard than you got in PC. You got more baby rapers on the yard than you got in PC. See, when you learn that difference, then you'll learn, hey, they got this shit backwards, right? It's more rats out of her than it is up there. And it's money up there in PC. And dudes up there got, man, it's so much riches. You know, you talking about making money while you locked up, that's where it's at. You know, right up there. And the people that want to go home, that's where you need to be at, right up there.
But they say you weak if you go to PC.
Man, who?
That's what
I went. Dude owed me, everybody said, I said, I'm going. The caseworker said, why you going up there? Somebody owe you? So I said, no, nobody. I'm just tired of the yard. They said, well, we can't put you up here unless you say you feel your life's in danger. I say, look, your life's in danger. How about that? They said, well, watch what you say, please. I'm not watching shit. They said, well, we'll put you up there. So when they put me up there, all the inmates said, oh, guess what's up at Fleece Johnson? Oh, man, somebody said, he probably up here to collect my money from so-and-so. He gonna get me.
They thought you were scared of something down there.
No, they know I ain't scared of shit. Everybody know that. They know I'm coming up there for a reason. And then they got all the pretty ones up there, too. You know, the ones, the pretty ones that don't want to give it ass up, they know, they up in PC. And so I got up there and I set it up there. I had a PC set. I had stores on every walk up there. I come back to the yard. See, what made me come back to the yard, it was two little young guys came in off a transfer. I'm hollering out the window at my niggas, and one of them hollering, shut that window up there, rat. I said, oh, I came out, mopped them. They got mopped, chased the PC, then chased out a PC, right? But I told everybody in prison, I walked in the dining room. I said, now, stood right up there, set my train. I'm going to tell all you motherfuckers something out here, right? I'm going back up here. If y'all got anything to say it now. Don't wait till I go up and say, oh, cause I ain't afraid none of you motherfuckers out here. And one of you motherfuckers think I am, man, we can go handle this. They say, go on somewhere, police, man. Everybody know you crazy, nigga. Get on up there. And my dudes, right, fucking with me. I went up there, ran all that bit. I mean, I had people coming off the yard coming to PC. Hey, police. I said, yeah, bro. Y'all coming? Said, yeah, all of us coming up here, man. We ain't got time for these people out here on the yard, man. They don't want to go home or nothing, man. I'm trying to get back home to my little baby, man. And I come up here and chill, go to school, do all this laid back, and don't have to get involved in all this old trying to tough man stuff they prove on the yard. I said, whatever, bro. He said, man, I'm going to school, get my education and all this. See, on the yard, they'll stop you from going home. You got people that know you're going up for parole, and somebody would pay him that don't like you, that is scared to fight you, or pay him to get you in a fight. One fight can stop you from going home. You know, they do it in there. So if you want to go home, you got to be in the frame of mind I was in. Hey, first of all, I don't live by nobody's rules, nobody's code. I don't care what y'all think. This is what it is to me. It's just like when they say black people can't go through the white land. When none of them niggas go through that land. White people in this land, blacks in this land. I went through it. And when they say we couldn't sit at these tables, I sat at it.
So in PC, do y'all not eat? Do the people in PC not eat with
they eat? They eat in the same dining hall and all that. See how they do it? They lock the yard down. Then they let the PCs out on the yard. They got the yard down. They got the yard for an hour.
And you can look and see who's out there.
Yeah, you can come to your window and open your window. Hey, Fleece, yeah. Hey, man, do me a favor, bro. What? Hey, go down there to the laundry room and tell Paul, have it, give you this to put on that table, man. Save me a poker table. I said, I get you. And I go take and put something on the table, which whoever comes out know that table is already asked for, right? So somebody will throw something out the window for me.
So what if they just come and take your little piece of paper off of it and take the table?
Well, when dude come out,
He'll have to deal with it.
yeah, he gonna deal with that. That's my table, man. But people don't disrespect like that in our, man. Ain't none of that shit, man. People got prison. Once you get established in our, you get established, man. You just do your time, bro. You can do your time. Once people know you, know what you about, you just stay out of the way. But you go in the penitentiary and you let people run you, I wouldn't let them run me. I'm not joining no gang. I don't take six no mans to make a man out of me. Either you were born a man or whatever. I fought my own battles. I changed my prison. The whole corrections department in Kentucky changed by me. I changed them. They rules, they laws, all that, regulations. I did that. I made it so good. When I left that prison, the prison I was in, there used to be double cells, now single cell. The ones that didn't have air conditions and all this stuff, central air and heat. The ones, man, I cleaned it up. But it cost me.
What about, have you ever seen multiple generations of family members come through prison, like grandfather, father, and son? Or
Yep, all the time.
So where do you think that family went wrong? If the father and son are the grandfather and father and son.
I tell you what it went wrong. Commit the crime they committed to get there. That's the first one. But I see you went back. It's a family thing. It's like, well, you got kids out there. A lot of kids that got fathers been locked up, and they never been locked up. I mean, and so I'm not gonna say that influenced the child to get locked up. But in a lot of cases, like with Roy dead, his daddy was Red Roy. Big light-skinned dude, toothpick, white beater, blue jeans, pure gangster. Carried 2 nickel-plated 45s like I used to. Police came up on Red one day to talk to him. He knocked both of them out, took their guns and stuff and robbed them. Turned their cars over. That's Red Roy. So, and his wife, Barbara Jean, Red knocked her teeth out and gave her the money, go get Red Roy in his mouth in gold and diamond. And when he had Roy, his son, he came from New York and to see his child and picked him up by the neck. They said Roy cried and he threw him through the window in the snow, right? Say, this little bitch ain't my son. And some lady next door picked him up and nursed him and took him to the hospital and all that. So now his son, when his son growed up, hearing about his daddy, your daddy was a gangster, your daddy this, he tried to portray that. He wanted to be like his daddy. And ended up, him and Avery, police was chasing him, and they hit this lady. And she died, right? And so they got time for that, right? That's where they went wrong, man. The daddies, the families, you got people having kids nowadays, and I'm wondering why. Why? What's the purpose of it? What is the whole purpose of having a child? For what reason? Now, if I ask you why you want a child, why? To do what? What you gonna do with the child when he's born? You gonna make sure he's taught? You gonna give him to God? You gonna give him to the streets? You gonna give him to the dope man or to some stripper or whore in the streets? What plans do you have before you have a child? Why do you want a child? These parents don't know they're bringing these kids in these worlds, man. Oh, my girl's pregnant, man. Oh, congratulations. Oh, man, I can't wait. Wait for what? To abandon your child? You can't wait to see your child go to prison, jail, end up homeless on the street, cracked out, on drugs. Why do you want a child? That's a good question. Why? I don't have it, and that's the best thing ever happened to me in my life, bro. Ooh, it stops with me.
It might have stopped you from going, though.
Mm-hmm.
It might have helped you.
What, not having them?
No, having one might have helped you.
Yeah, I love kids.
Yeah, because sometimes
I love the hell out of
sometimes it brings out the best in you.
I would know how to run a kid based on how I was raised, right? And all I had to go through, I wouldn't want them to go through it, right? But these parents nowadays, a lot of these kids, they don't have parents that brought them into the world. They have people that just produce them. You know, but they cannot call themselves parents, man. just came from Vegas, but what stays in Vegas happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. If we was in Vegas, I'd tell you about it. But I can't talk Vegas stuff.
So check this out. It's the last group of questions here. When it comes to when crimes are committed in prison, and we see all the blood on TV. You know, we only can see it on TV. We ain't never been. How does anyone get away with a crime with all that blood? And how many people are included in orchestrating your getaway so the guards don't see you?
Well, first of all, the guards don't care. They train them people, when they come out of the academy, they train them to do one thing, what they tell them. They don't train them into the law and all that. But I ain't gonna speak bad about all these guards, cause it's a lot of guards I seen there I knew was just good raised people. But they in a situation where they're working for the Department of Correction, and their job means something to them. They, you know what I'm saying, but some of them guys, they didn't need a job. They got acres and acres of land and cattle and all this stuff. But
I mean, when somebody gets stabbed, we done seen on TV where that knife or that shank is handed off to about 3 or 4 different people. And then that last person disappears with it.
Yeah, see.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, but seldom can they get away anymore. See, whatever TV show they showed at a time when they could get away with it. But these corrections...
You was in there when you could get away with it.
Yeah, the time you can get away with it was when I first came to prison. They didn't have no technology like what we got now. You know, in the 70s. So we in 2000, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, technology increased, right? So now, they didn't have no cameras in the prison. But now they got cameras on every wall, everywhere. Ain't no blind spots in there no more. That killed the blind spot where you can go stab somebody and walk away, right? And they got so many, like I said, they got so many walk-in cameras. People that is rats. People that, here's how prison work. All these little young thugs and gangsters and whatever the hell they want to call themselves, right? I done met you in prison. I know you ain't all that, right? You get in there, when that judge tell them how much time they get ready to do, Mr. Gangster turned into one of the most vicious rats you can ever come across, right? They sit there and just think of, wait on people to come in prison to tell them about murders and all this stuff. They pass the information on to the DA for, you know, cut their time. You know, please, you know, I can tell you who killed so-and-so and this person and that person. You know, I come off the streets with murder, man, and people say, hey, man, I got something for you, man. Give you food and all this stuff till your money come. And y'all sit there and talk about what's going on in the world, right? I said, man, when you getting out? Oh, man, you know, I ain't never getting out, Fleece. People gave me, man, 92 years, man. Yeah. Man, what's your name got killed? Man, I saw it. Who did it, man? And then you start telling his mother, you know, you don't think nothing like that. He'll take that information to the DA. You'll be back in court on some more murder charges and watch him walk up out of here. They ratting, man, when you see all of that, I lost all respect. I lost all respect of all these gangster gangs and all. Man, go ahead on, man. I'm not, you want to join the Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, the Viceroys, and man, I see y'all, bruh. I see what you doing in here. All you niggas supposed to be hard and shit, run around sucking dick, get fucked in the head, snitching to go home. Right? I done seen it, man. I said, you know what? Y'all do y'all thing, I do mine, bro. I don't need to be in the game. I fight my own battles. I don't need a big a cloud of niggas with me every time something pop out. Hey man, call Johnny, call Rock. Hey man, call J-Do, call Switchblade, man. Tell him come on, get the shit, man. That's ignorant.
All right, check this out.
Ignorant, man. I did my own thing and whatever, man.
Well, they got a last question, then a comparison. They want to see what you think. Hey, did you ever see anybody accept death instead of a sexual act?
Do what?
Did you ever see anybody accept death, getting killed, instead of a sexual act?
Yeah, I saw one. That one I told him about. What was his Powell? The one, the one that come in penitentiary. Now Powell was the one that took that young boy that ended up with his marrying his daughter, and he didn't know it, right?
Yeah.
And so the other guy, man, he refused to get involved in sexual act. And I'm talking about he's cute. Nigga had long hair, had that body, big round bubble butt, nice thighs on it. But he said, I'm not a girl. I'm not gay. Man, they had him in chokeholds and everything. He not no, man, kill me.
Did they?
No, they respected him. Everybody in prison that if they even think you can mess with that dude, the whole prison to come, hey man, leave that man alone, man. He ain't with that, man. He got his respect. And he got it so hard that this nigga would sag his pants so half his booty be showing, bro. Daring somebody to try and just showing him, I can walk around here naked, I dare one of you gay niggas to touch me, man. And he was like that. They got respect.
All right, what you think about this comparison? This guy said that your easy way or hard way statement that you made on MSNBC
Right.
is comparable to either you get blood on the knife or
Shit on my dick.
yeah, he said that's the sayings are comparable. Is that true?
No. See, the blood on my knife and the shit on
Don't
my...
keep up.
All that, the
Yeah.
blood on my knife, all
Yeah.
the duty on my dingling.
Yeah.
That's a threat.
So the easy way or hard way is not a threat.
No. That's something you imply. Like, for instance, I seen that on Star Trek. But I'll be truthful with you. When you go as far as the easy way or the hard way, yeah, that's not a threat. See, that's a guarantee.
That's a guarantee.
Yeah, the easy way or the hard way is guaranteed. The threat is just running your mouth. When you say easy way or the hard way, it kills all that. No more talk about it. I ain't gonna go through all that. Let me think about it. The decision got to be made right then and there.
But that's a threat.
I'll face the consequences.
That's a threat.
Well, it was a good one. It worked. I got a lot of booty support out of that. And
They would say you threatened for it.
man, they can say whatever. I got my booty.
So it's the same as
I got the booty.
so it's the same as blood on knife.
Nah, I didn't go that hard with it. I went gentle.
Yours is more finesse. Is what
More
you said.
finesse, straight to the point. It ain't no all that. I'm gonna kill you and all that. Give it up, man. You know, come sit in my lap. You know, hug me, kiss me.
And if you don't,
I'm gonna get up in you anyway, right? So I'm gonna get up in it. I'm letting you know I'm getting up in it. I don't have to hit you, all that. I'm gonna get there.
how you gonna get it? If it's not a threat, I want to know how. How you gonna get it without forcefully?
Man, you make me feel like I'm still in prison now. Cause I got to.
I mean, I'm just asking the question.
Whoever asked that question, I'm gonna give you this answer. the easy way or the hard way to you.
Y'all have a good evening.